It's time for some help, hope, and healing. Every day's a new beginning. Tap into your feelings and giving life new meaning. No matter the time of day, His grace and mercy goes with you along the way. Help, hope, and healing. Every day's a new beginning. Get in step with Nicole.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Get in Step with Nicole. I am your host, Nicole Horston, and I have my special guest with me today, Miss Angel Smoot, and we are going to, I give you a theme, but this time, I'll go ahead and give you an acronym too. So today's theme is Just As I Am, and the acronym is me, myself. So I'm adjusting myself, I'm being aware of myself, acknowledging myself. So just as I am is our theme for the show today. Welcome, Miss Angel Smoot. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you're here today because we have been discussing helping our young people. So today's show will be geared to our young people, to business owners, because you are a philanthropic being,
Yes.
and you have a nonprofit,
Yes.
which you absolutely love working
I
at.
love.
So we're going to talk about that today, but we're also going to help our guests get in
Yes.
step and soar
Yes.
with help, some hope, and healing. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Angel Smoot, and I am the founder of Just As I Am, and that is a nonprofit that teaches youth to be entrepreneurs and philanthropists just as they are. No matter the color of their skin, the texture of their hair, their financial background, or how they identify.
I love it. And I just see the work that you do within the community and how your love started from such an early age. You were
Yes.
sharing with me how your love for just being philanthropic, just as young as 8 or 9.
Yes.
So give us a bit of that story.
So when I was about 9 years old, I was around in the community just not doing anything, throwing rocks, collecting rocks, what that
What
age
kids
group
do.
did. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we do, right? And there was a very religious church around the corner from us, and it was one of the pillars of the church that I used to watch all the time, walk back and forth to the church. And I always wonder, who was she,
Who was
right?
she? Yeah. What
Yes.
did she do? Yeah.
And so one day she actually came over to me and she was like, "Would you like to help me with the garden?"
Just
And
a
I'm
simple
like,
garden.
Just a simple garden. And
Okay.
I had no clue. It wasn't that, "Oh, I want you to come to church with me. I want to, show you the Lord," or anything like that. Not pushing anything on me, but let's help our community. So we walked around the neighborhood. We did a garden. It was tomato plants, starting off, and then it ended up being cabbage and things of that nature. But she just showed me, being in the inner city, that we can have gardens and things of that nature, and it's not just at the store.
I love that. And so while she was teaching you how to plant
Yes.
a garden, she was actually fostering, which would later become your love,
Yes.
with actually helping your community,
Yes.
helping specifically our children.
Yes.
And I love that you do that because our kids are faced with so much. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have children at home, you can identify
Yes.
that the world is totally different from when we were children. And so with the respect, you offer mentorship with your Just As I Am program.
Yes.
You teach them how to become business owners,
Yes.
being aware of themselves, which is that AM and Just As I Am, our theme today.
Yes.
So let's shed some light on your nonprofit, Just As I Am. Give us an overarching scope of what it is you offer.
So some of the things that we actually offer, first of all, we offer workshops.
Okay.
We offer workshops as to how to become an entrepreneur, because how can a child know that they would like to be an entrepreneur and tell their parents if they don't know?
Yeah.
So it's actually opening up their mind to being an entrepreneur and what that looks like. And if they didn't want to be an entrepreneur, paying it forward, giving it back, being in the community, right? So some of the things that we offer are workshops on website building,
Okay.
how to manage your social media, how to create your social media, how to create commercials. We'll do workshops on those, and then once the child or the parents, if they decide that they can't do it and they need help, then we will actually assist them with that. We also offer mentor to mentorships, which is the mentee is holding the mentor accountable.
Oh,
so
I
say,
love that.
for instance, if there was someone who wanted to be a talk show host, so just example, and they didn't know where to start,
Yes.
I would call you up as a villager and say, hey, Nicole, I have a young entrepreneur that's interested in becoming a talk show host. So they will mentor you, they will follow you, they will hold you accountable, you will hold them accountable, and then we also offer resources to the mentee and the mentor. So say, for instance, if someone said, oh, I broke my camera, and so now I'm down, I can't do events and things of that nature. If we have the money in the budget, or if we have grant money available, we're able to give them, sow a seed in them in order to make sure like they are being productive.
That is so much that you have to offer our
Yes.
young people, and I applaud you.
Thank you.
And you actually, I read where you received an honor,
Yes.
an esteemed honor that very few people get,
Right.
from the White House.
Yes.
Can you please share with our listening audience today that esteemed honor that you received?
Yes. So there is the Presidential Volunteer Philanthropy honor that
Okay.
every president has in the office has the opportunity to give. Barack Obama, President Barack Obama.
Be
has-
still my heart. So
Yes,
President Obama,
yes,
wow. So this was
yes.
during his administration.
This is during his administration. I was working for a Fortune 500 company at the time, and they were submitting applications to the White House for this. Because philanthropy with the Fortune 500 companies is a very big thing.
Wow,
So I was
okay.
working a 9 to 5 and also doing philanthropy on the side.
Oh my goodness, sister,
Right.
where's the energy coming from?
Yes. We don't talk about it, we just do it, right?
Just do it.
Right? So at the end of the day, they did a write-up on me of the stuff that I've done with inside the corporation, not knowing the additional things that I was doing outside the corporation. So when you're doing philanthropy or you're paying it forward, it's a lot of times that it gets missed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they don't talk about it, right? So I gave them the appropriate information and
All the above.
and the receipts.
Yes.
Yes. And then they submitted it, and out of, it was like 600, they selected 2. I was one of 2 individuals.
Wow, that's amazing.
One out of New York, and then myself, I'm in Ohio. So that was able to receive that honor.
Wow. Angel, I mean, you have just really, you're the epitome of what it means. And we're going to jump into this term because you and I were talking.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're teaching you today, just as I am,
Yes.
becoming aware of yourself,
Self.
you know, your moments of frustration, you know, overcoming obstacles. And Angel, you had a great motto, if you would, with when you're met with life's challenges, and with your business, it took you over 20 years.
Yes.
I'll say that again. It took her 20 years to build her nonprofit the way that it's currently operating in the best interest of the community,
Yes.
and most importantly, our children. But can you share with the audience, when you are met with obstacles in life, give us your motto.
Hold your position.
Ooh, girl, when you
So,
said that to me,
yes.
hold your position. When you're going through life's obstacles, ups and downs, twists and turns, ladies and gentlemen, Angel wants you to
Hold your position.
hold, girl, help us out with that one.
Yes. So I find it a lot within corporate America, or even like philanthropy or entrepreneurship.
Yes.
A lot of individuals see other individuals in the limelight. You know, they see these celebrities at their height and where they are now, but they have not seen them at their low. They have not seen them in their cars. They have not seen them homeless. So at the end of the day, it's not your time.
That's number one.
And for me, being in corporate America for, well, I won't give my age, but for a long period of time.
Well, you look good for whatever age.
Thank you. But just just know it's not your time. Hold your position. And so it's like, do all the work, do all your research, be ready so you don't have to get ready. Because when God gives you that opportunity, you're going to be ready for it. And you want to be ready for it.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you want to be ready for it. And so holding your position, we call that, being still or
Yes.
standing still.
Sit still.
But I like how you put it, because when you're holding your position, you're like anticipating, because when football players hold a stance,
Yes.
they are ready for what is to come.
Right.
But they still bring to the table what they have within them.
Right.
And so while you're holding your position and allowing God to just empower you, uplift you, put you out there into the world at his time, because we all
Right.
have an appointed time
Yes.
where our destiny will meet our purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what happened for you.
With me.
And I love that. And just another thing that I love about it, because ladies and gentlemen, we're helping our children
Yes.
to become better.
Yes.
And you offer so much, with the mentorship and the workshops. And I mean, how do you help the parents understand, like, because the children love, like, and they trust you intimately.
Right.
So how is your dynamics with the parents when you're helping the children? How are the parents impacted, or are they given resources on how to help their children soar?
There has been times where I've actually had one-on-one counseling sessions with the parents as far as being entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Right. I also have a team of mental health coaches that I can rely on, I can depend on. I have a nurse, that's there 24 hours, 7 days a week if I need to just call.
Yes.
I call them my villagers.
Oh, yeah, I
Because
love
at
that.
any given time, like, sometimes you don't have the hospitals there to help you.
Yes.
But then again, sometimes you want to make sure, like, the parents are understanding their child's needs, especially with today's society and a lot of kids feeling left out or feeling like they don't belong. With me, like, all kids belong. So sometimes it's like having that conversation with the parents and say, hey, Johnny does not want a business. Johnny just wants to be a kid.
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we try philanthropy? Johnny giving back, because Johnny might be better at that. He might be your next politician.
Yeah.
You never know. You never
Right,
know what his
absolutely.
calling is.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have to know which way to go with not only the kid, the individual,
Yes.
but also the parents.
And I love that you make a connection and make it about the family structure.
Right.
But just specifically targeting our children, because,
Right.
I mean, let's be honest, they need it.
Right.
And so you were just sharing a bit of your story with me, and how you're like one of 5 children.
Right.
And you're the baby.
The baby.
The baby baby.
The baby baby.
And so with all the kids in your family and your parents, you felt like you just described with your population, with your target audience, like you help those who feel like they don't have a place in this world.
Right.
And so that's your personal testimony.
Yes.
Can you share, just to
Yes.
help and enlighten, when you feel like you're, one of many,
Right.
but yet you're not, getting all that you need and deserve?
Right. So it's sometimes you will find individual or children that are introverts
Yes, yes.
or extrovert that is an introvert. So it's like, what does that look like?
That's me for real. Like,
Right.
I learned at the ripe old, I'll tell my age because you know my story. So
Yes.
I'm happy to share any age that God gives me. I'm 50 years old.
Yay.
And it was like in my early 40s, and I'll let you get back to the story, but I want to interject that point, that I really was like, oh gosh, I'm here for a purpose.
Yes.
I'm here for a reason. But I was very extroverted.
Yes.
And until my trauma hit me, it made me, even forced me to go within the walls of myself.
That's
And I
your
became
mental health
introvert.
walls opening
Yes.
up. Right. So even with that being said, like when I was about 7 or 8, and I haven't told this to anybody, but to you, because I felt comfortable with you, but I tried to take my own life just because I felt like no one could identify with me. Of course, I was a preemie, so I felt like okay, maybe I was the runt, how
Yes.
everybody say about the runt, the small
Yes.
one and things of that nature. So I felt myself alone a lot, not understanding, but also not having somebody to talk to.
Yes.
So luckily, the pills that I took were water pills, and I just went to sleep and woke up and was just like, thank God I didn't have that happen. So I think
Right.
I had an angelic angel. But then when that happened with the sister from the church,
That divine connection.
right.
And I love that. And I appreciate your trust in me to share that most vulnerable part of your life. Because it will help parents as we're helping our children to become who they are, regardless, as you say, of who they are and their stature in life.
Right.
Whatever decision they decide
Right.
to become or identify with. We always have to be so aware.
Always be aware.
And those signs are sometimes missed in the homes. So we're just encouraging you parents through Angel's story that, you have to keep all eyes and ears
You must.
on your children, because mental health, especially in today's time with social media and everything, it's hard for anyone, let alone our children, to really know who they are when they
Right.
have so many triggers of what someone should look like.
Self-image.
Yes. And you help with self-image as well.
Yes, I do. So another thing about self-image is we want our children to love themselves.
Yes.
And my thing is I love love. I go into like the different communities, no matter if it's my community or not. I have conversations with parents. I don't know a stranger. And my kids say that a lot too. They're like, you don't know a stranger. You don't know. And I'm like, okay,
You're my peep.
Right.
You're my
right.
person,
Yeah,
because
like,
I
you
never
know.
meet a stranger either. I agree with you. Like, that's who I am.
Yes.
At my very core, I love and I love people.
Right.
And it takes a special person to do what you do.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
so,
does. It
yeah,
does.
I'm sorry, but I
Sometimes,
just want to applaud you for
fine.
being
But sometimes
just open about
it's hard.
everything.
It's sometimes it's hard. I have to meditate. I have to pray about it. I have to go and close doors with self sometimes, and I have to journal, especially when I make a connection where it's like the parent is not understanding the child, but I understand the child, and it's like I could be the advocate for the child,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
Right. So I could just be the listening ear for the child and, just support them no matter what they would like to do. So at the end of the day, that's kind of difficult at times, but
Yes.
that's like 10% at a time, That's like really 10% at a time. Other times it's kids just wanting to be kids. It's kids that just want to feel like loved, like they can do
Yes.
anything, like they're
I
on
can
top
do
of the world.
anything.
And they do.
Yes.
But you also, as a parent, you have to be able to identify when your child is struggling.
Yes.
Because I have 4 children. So, and my kids are different ages.
Right.
So I have 30, 23, 11, and 7.
Girl, you got a whole melting pot of
Yes,
ages there.
I
Oh
do.
my goodness. And
So-
development at all stages.
So they change. The kids that I had earlier are not the kids that are now.
Absolutely.
Right. So with COVID hitting, and my children are young entrepreneurs, the 11 and 7-year-old, they have a doggy treat business, and they were in the malls and things of that nature, and that was the height of their career, right?
Yes.
So that's what COVID. They would do their homework in the dressing room, and it was all set up like an office, and then they would come out and they sell their products and services. So when COVID finally changed and the kids were no longer doing online, they were going back into the school,
Yes.
then it shifted for my 11-year-old, and I saw the shift. So then it was like going to the store owners and the boutique owners and the wholesalers and saying, hey, my children have to be children.
Yes.
We appreciate the opportunity, but they're going to have to ease up on some of the production that they were doing. So at the end of the day, it's like me watching them.
Yes,
And just
being in
knowing,
tune.
being in tune with your kids and just
Yeah.
really knowing. And did that hinder their business? No, because some of the businesses just donated to their business.
Look at God.
Yeah, look at him.
And
So at the end of the
You
day,
said,
it
"Girl,
was
look at him."
Yes,
Isn't he
it wasn't about.
amazing?
Yes, he is
Yes.
an amazing God. But it wasn't all about the money.
Right.
For me as a parent,
Yes, ma'am.
it was taking the opportunity to say, I know, they may not make the money that they were making before.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it wasn't even about the money. But then he still found a way.
Isn't that just like him? He always provides. And
Yes.
we're encouraging you today in today's show to become who you are.
Yes.
As you just admire yourself, acknowledge yourself, all of those affirmations. And you
Yes.
are a woman of affirmations.
I love affirmations.
Just give the family at home some tools and tips that they can quickly use and implement even today with affirmations.
Yeah, so one of the things that I am a very firm believer in is affirmation and vision boards. So with vision boards, that's a vision, right? So if you're mindful of your goals, whether it's a 6-month goal to a year goal to a weekly goal,
Yes.
create a vision board. I do it with my young girls. I do it with workshops.
Okay.
I do it around the community. And you would be amazed once you introduce a vision board to a kid, how happy they are.
Yes.
Right? Because it's actually keeping them mindful. Not only is it colorful, I like them because they're colorful.
You like all the pictures?
Yes, I love all the
you're so
pictures.
sharply dressed today, so
Thank
you
you.
just bring out their vision.
Yes, I just bring out their vision and where they want to go and how they want to do it. But then also affirmations. So we do a thing called Affirmation Bingo. And what I do is I give the children, I have up to 150 affirmations that they can choose from.
Okay.
And so when we hit bingo, it's like you have to give an affirmation off of the list that you chose for yourself.
Okay.
So then after you get so far in, you can say, okay, what were all the other affirmations that everybody else had?
Oh, wow.
And so,
okay.
So it's
I like that. I
actually
love that, actually.
implementing other affirmations.
Yes.
And so I was at an event just not too long ago, and I saw one of the kids from the inner city, and he was like, yeah, I remember you. You're the affirmation lady. And I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he remembered.
He remembered. He connected me with the affirmation and the positive thinking, right?
Yes.
So he was like, and I was like, well, give me some affirmations. He was like, my 3 favorite words, this. And I was like, oh, but how many do you have? He's like, oh, yeah, I have about 6.
Oh.
And he's like 9.
Oh, my. See, and that's what we're trying to say. Any little thing that you do can impact a child's life, positively or even negatively.
Yes.
But our goal is to give you tools, tips, resources through today's show to really help you understand that you must be aware of your children.
Yes.
You have to acknowledge who they are and just really, affirm them.
Yes.
I do an affirmation. Well, my son's 29 now, but I did one with him when one of the teachers had called him incorrigible at school. And of course, I'm an educator myself, and I mean, like, what does she mean?
Right.
You're incorrigible.
Right.
And so I taught him that I am somebody.
Yes.
I'm lovable, capable, teachable, therefore I can learn.
Yes.
I will respect myself. I will respect others. I will not waste time because time is too precious.
Yes.
And I am too bright. And I used to affirm him every day. I would say, now who are you?
Yes.
And he goes, I am somebody. And I'm like, why are you going to school today? Because see, I want the lessons at home to spill over into the school system, into the marketplace, wherever
the
community. The community will, the kid will be. I want them to know that, they're somebody.
Right.
And so I tell them to make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.
Right.
And that's so true even for us as adults.
Yes.
Each day we make a choice to be aware of self.
Right.
To offer ourselves self-love, as you were alluding to earlier. Compassion and giving ourselves grace beyond our mistakes. And so if you could help me just encourage someone who's viewing today, your journey has been vast and you've had so many experiences from, birth, being I had a premature son, so I know the work that was required of one, of raising one, until the powerful woman of God that you are right now. How did you activate your faith during life's most difficult circumstances?
Just always understanding that I am worthy. I am a child of God and I am worthy. And one thing that we all need to understand, even with facing challenges and keeping the faith, Like, just like we said earlier, it's all about holding your position.
Holding your position, yes.
But you must identify who you are, your true self, right? So I try to figure out who your true self is.
Yes.
Whether that's journaling or doing mindful thinking, mindful affirmation.
Yes.
Always being mindful. And then if there is a problem, don't be afraid to get help. If you feel like you're in a dark spot and it's a cloud over your head, there's 1-800 numbers that you could call, and you can always have someone there 24/7. Like back in the day, they didn't have that.
And we didn't talk about it.
When we didn't talk about it, it was closed door.
Closed door conversations within the home that we never discussed. But thank God for time and advancement, because now we're having the conversations.
And COVID is making it to the forefront now.
Yes.
Like a lot of communication that we have nowadays is about how did COVID affect your life? And that's why a lot of people are going into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And quitting their jobs because they know their self-worth. Because at the end of the day, some individuals would rather be an Uber driver with high gas prices than to work for somebody else.
Yes.
Because they know their worth. They're giving back in their own way. Right?
And that's very important in today's society. I tell you, I love our conversation today. I want you to share with the audience how they can get in contact with you beyond today's show, because I really want them to learn more about you. You can give your website as well.
Yes.
So if you could give us your handles, I would appreciate it.
So my name is Angel Smoot, Smoot. Angel, like the child of God.
Yes.
And my website is it's the number 4justasIam.com. That will give you a list of all of our upcoming events. That will give you a list of all of our clinics and more about our nonprofit.
I love it. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show to help you to become who you are, just as I am.
Yes.
I appreciate you and your platform. And ladies and gentlemen, you will see on the screen my information. And let's reach out to Angel Smoot and prayerfully make a contribution to the efforts that she's doing. And I know I cannot survive this show without the donations of people who are invested in what we bring, special guests and contents to give you help, hope, and healing. Because remember, no matter the time of day, it is always a great time to get in step and soar. And I appreciate you.
And I appreciate you
for just opening up today.
Thank you.
Sharing your life's truth to help somebody who may be watching who needs what you have.
Yes.
Because the lessons that you've been through always helps another person. Would you agree?
I totally agree.
And I just, seriously, Angel, you have been a very integral part of our community, and I want to say thank you myself.
Thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen, tune in next week, because we're going to continue the conversation with our children, helping our children, because this is the month of August, and we're going to help them soar at home, in the classroom, and in the community. See you next week. And I was blessed to have a chaplain who I could call no matter the hour of the day. She came to one conference and she said, "Girl, this is where I want to be." And so it was. So whenever I needed advice, wisdom, prayer, Elder Linda was there.
It's time for some help, hope, and healing. Every day's a new beginning. Tap into your feelings and giving life new meaning. No matter the time of day, His grace and mercy goes with you along the way.